Deserve. A popular cultural romanticism is the story how we all get what we deserve. The person who dedicate themselves to do the most preparations, planning, and work before any event will reap what they sow. This fantasy is as old as human civilization as means to understand a feat of strength. While crediting the winner of said competition, this mindset logically is telling all of the less fortunate participants that the reason they lost were due to not being deserving of the win as much. Originally supposed to inspire the non-victorious to work harder, it can very well be interpreted as mockery of one's effort. In WRAF progressive raiding, this mentality is no different and is most commonly described as hungriest wolf wins. And, while results tend to do come one's way when dedicating oneself, the deserving wolves may leave with empty stomachs once the conclusion of a race is reached. It is not always the deserving that stand victorious. Competing in World of Warcraft heavily relies on one simple metric, being the first to cross the finish line. In previous game versions, there was but one sole champion to be crowned per race, the race to World First. One guild to surpass all others until the next race would commence. This created a culture with one victor and many runner-ups, but the winners were to be held as Olympians and held in communities' memories as champions forever in return for their efforts. WRAF is an old game, first released in the 13th of November by 2008. Being the second expansion and the third iteration of World of Warcraft series, the game was considered widely understood by this point. For the first time in the game's history, the game's company owner Blizzard wanted to encourage this race spectacle and added the achievement to Realm Firsts to the winners of each race on each respective server. The race to World First was still the most prestigious, but this in-game achievement encouraged more players and more servers to partake and chase their dream of being a Victorian. When the Lich King finally bit the dust at the hands of Paragon on the 26th of March in 2010, the pinnacle of WRAF raiding was believed to have been achieved. The last boss, arguably the hardest encounter to have ever been created at that point in time, had been conquered, and the community now set their eyes to the future and what new challenges would succumb to the best of the best. The spirit of competition and thrill of seeking Realm First may still exist in the upper echelons of World of Warcraft, even in modern versions of the game. But many players feel that the true feeling of accomplishment has been too diluted and lost compared to the game's glory days. A widely accepted theorem is that Wrath of the Lich King was the best version of the game, as it held the most concurrent subscribers, and since then, World of Warcraft has lost many of its believed core values. On the 7th of December in 2010, Cataclysm was released, and with a symbolic gesture of the Deathwing's arrival, the old World of Warcraft was believed to be forever lost. Where most players' Wrath story ends, ours begin. The early versions of WRAF private servers focused on replicating the beloved game from 2010, the patch 3.3.5. During the 2010s, many players sought out these promises of Blizz-like scripting to relive their glory days, but were more often than not met with disappointment upon logging in. Since the days of Molten WoW, the servers have come a long way, and with a little coding experience and drive, one can successfully run their own WRAF server with little to no setup. Today, I am going to be talking about the competitive nature of WRAF, and while it remains to be one of the most played and most loved versions of World of Warcraft, as seen by player base numbers on private servers currently. As earlier mentioned, Blizzard's attempt at giving each server their own competitive incentive by adding feats of strength titles for Realm First achievements is a widely appreciated mechanic in the WRAF private server scene today. The hunt for these titles can best be described as modern skirmishes, where several guilds spend weeks preparing for a race they are all so familiar with. For each race, the players accumulate experience and familiarity with the content, making them even more well-equipped for future races. While many players question how the repetition of the same instance for server after server can be found enjoyable, there are players out there who want nothing but another chance at racing and re-experiencing the thrill of the hunt. Likely to butcher his name and get chased by John Cena, Su Bingtian is my current favorite sprinter in the world. Yeah, this guy. Let's once again look at the similarities between running and playing RAF. The mechanically easiest form of running in the Olympics is the 100-meter race. Most people can complete such a race, yet we all appreciate watching the best of the best battle it for the title, fastest man on earth. Why is this title so enticing? Well, the skill required to run 100 meters is so easy we could do it thousands of years ago, so it can't really be surprising to see the finals in the Tokyo Olympics. No, the reason why it's inspiring and a respected activity is due to the athleticism, execution and sheer competition. Everyone can run, but these people do it the best, and that's why we respect it. You wouldn't question a 100-meter sprinter why they keep returning to the track year after year.
On the left is the men's finals, and on the right is the women's finals, and as best as I can ascertain, every single one of them is black. You don't see, for example, any Koreans there.
From my own track and field experience, Western Indian countries are known to have better sprint coaches than the rest of the world.
Okay, all right, so you immediately start with countries, right? Okay, got it? So you moved away from race, and now you go to coaches. Yeah, but it could just be genetic mutation, man.
Yeah, that's possible.
It just happens.
Yeah.
Among West Africans in particular, longer legs and shorter torsos. East Asian, shorter legs and longer torso. For sprints, ideal body type is long legs and short torso is really awesome. Even shaving your head. We're not going to expect people from her area of the world to be in the finals of the 100-meter dash. They can train and train and train. You're not going to see many East Asians in the finals of the 100 meters. In fact, you're almost going to see none.
The reason why the story of Su Bingtian is inspiring is due to him never giving up. We have to remember, at the start of his career, the world widely perceived one of the meta to be prevalent in sprinting, and that was one of long strides and a tall body structure. Su always responded to these theories, that his goal was not to disprove anyone the theory or the model. He simply wanted to pursue the fastest time possible to complete the simple task of running 100 meters. While many believed that running below 9.85 seconds would be impossible for him, he kept pushing on. Do you remember the first clip of the Tokyo finals I showed? In the qualifications, the semi-finals, Su Bingtian shocked himself and the world by having this run.
Find out the identity of the fastest man on Earth.
我们这个小组的分组是非常强，有2名夺冠的热门选手。
Fastest man in this one is Ronnie Baker, second at the US trial. Rani Simbine stormed an African record. Marcel Jacobs, European indoor champion. What a fantastic campaign he had on the indoor circuit. He's flying.
最低的目标就是我复赛，我破10秒。要是进不了决赛，那也就是无憾的。对我来说，因为我就是这个水平。我的复赛就是我的决赛。
Why do we keep coming back? Why do the gates of Ulduar speak to us after so many years? I can't answer it for everyone, but for me, it's about the thrill of competing against others and myself. Wrath is my 100-meter race. I'm familiar with it. I know every step along the way. Su Bingtian didn't deserve anything. He earned. And just like him, I want to earn my creed in the upcoming Wrath races to come.